Is this Beetlejuice?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh boy, it's
I am.
been like 2 weeks since I've watched this. Oh boy. Welcome back, everyone, to this episode of Galactic Reviews, where, in accordance with the Halloween spirit, I believe our first year we watched the original Beetlejuice
Yeah.
Yes, and
5 years ago.
it was your
Um,
choice as well.
yes,
And it was your
love
first
me.
choice.
Yes, I do love me some spooky movies. This time we watched Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice, the long-awaited sequel that we never thought would happen. Thankfully, still with Tim Burton and it's not George Clooney, is it? It's George Clooney. No, I'm thinking of a completely different actor, not George Clooney.
Michael Keaton?
Michael Keaton. They've got a similar face to me.
They do
I'm
not,
probably gonna get
but
hated for that. I don't know why I see them as similar.
I just pull up the two Batman movies.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking. Michael Keaton, but this time Jenna Ortega as a Winona Ryder character, but with Winona Ryder still in it. A lot of the original actors still in it, at least for the
Yeah.
key roles that were needed. And decent, somewhat decent explanations for why the others were not in there. Overall, I think it was pretty decent. I don't think no matter what you do, no matter how good a sequel is, you can never recreate just the energy, the feeling, the emotion, the style, whatever like an 80s, 70s, 90s cult classic has coming into 2000s, 2020. You can't really recapture that. You could just do your best to kind of reach it. Overall, I think this was a pretty good sequel. You are very much able to love Beetlejuice on its own without it. It doesn't really expand. It's just more of a you love Beetlejuice, here's more Beetlejuice in a way that isn't disrespectful or makes you go, man, didn't wish I never saw it. It's just an entertaining sequel to a cult classic that doesn't add, just gives fans more Beetlejuice content. I think Michael Keaton just he brought the exact role and energy back for it. The story was just fun. I liked a lot of the cameos they had with things like Danny DeVito and Willem Dafoe. Those were just fun additions. Overall, really good. The music was brought back the vibe, brought back the energy. Just like a solid like seven, like better than I expected it to be. But like if you put Beetlejuice at a 10, this would be a seven. If you put Beetlejuice at an eight, this would be like a six. Um, so if Beetlejuice is an eight, I'd probably put this as a six. I forget what I rated Beetlejuice. I probably rated it like an eight. I'd probably put this at like a six. Um, just fine, but like a very enjoyable fine. I do have qualms with it. There were things that I did not like, but overall, as a Beetlejuice fan, I was like, yeah, I like this. Yeah, a lot better than I expected. Yeah, I was expecting like a three or a four.
I wouldn't go that far as to what I was expecting for it was like a three or four.
What were you
Okay.
expecting from this movie?
I was expecting maybe like a five-ish, and I feel like that's what we got. It was slow at the beginning. It felt more like a Beetlejuice movie, especially during the third act. It felt way more like the Beetlejuice movie, the first Beetlejuice movie. I thought the actors did a good job. Uh, it they all did well. Michael Keaton really captured the Beetlejuice character, especially towards the back end. I wouldn't say this movie had a center plot. There were kind of just two plots that were going at the same time that had equal amount of importance. That was interesting, but it kind of really didn't give a focal point for the movie. So that kind of that wasn't the greatest part about it, but I
Yeah, it
understood.
felt disjointed.
Yeah, and it wasn't poorly done. It's just I don't think that was the right move to make when it came to that. But it all came together in the third act. Third act was definitely the best part of the movie. That latter portion, with all the characters and stuff. Especially especially with Michael Keaton. That's where he got to really shine. So that was awesome.
It was unfortunate that it took a while for
Yeah,
Beetlejuice to appear in Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
but it was still good, and he was good when he showed up. No, I'd probably give it about a five. ish, maybe a 5.5. There were still parts of it that were good and parts of it that were funny, but yeah, I don't know. It was just middle of the road. I think if you really enjoyed the Beetlejuice movie, you'll probably still enjoy this one. It's felt like a decent enough sequel to it, and the was music and cinematography were probably a good saving grace of this movie. Danny Elfman cannot go wrong, especially when it came to Tim Burton stuff. Yeah, and the cinematography was good, especially when they were doing this mini sculpture city. That was really well done as well. Yeah, 5 out of 10.
All right. Well, I'll have to say 100% a nostalgic movie. I enjoyed it for that aspect. Will agree the plot was a bit sporadic and slow, but it all did wrap up together in the end, which is a good thing. I really enjoyed it for a sequel of a movie so old. I think they did a great job. I think they've been doing pretty good job with doing sequels to old movies like Top Gun and a few others. I can't think off the top of my head the names. But they've been doing pretty well with sequels for older movies lately. So I'm always a big fan of that. I would give this definitely a 6 out of 10. Did have some problems with it that we'll discuss in a bit, I'm sure. But yeah, no, I think all in all, it was a pretty good movie for Beetlejuice. So yeah,
6 and a 5. Cool.
6 out of
Before,
5.
sorry, 6 to 6 and a 5. Before we delve into any of the negatives, was there any like key good parts that y'all liked
Uh, I think the acting by Jenna
that we didn't mention?
Ortega and Michael Keaton were really good. Catherine O'Hara did a good job as the coming back as the mom.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Um, I don't know how much I feel about Winona Ryder. I don't I don't know how well that was done. That was the only one I was kind of like questioning on how well that was done, but the rest of them I thought were done well.
And then
So
that new guy character.
he was there for laughs. That's really well he was there for.
Yeah,
He really reminded me of that the boyfriend from Cat in the Hat.
I think that's what. Yeah,
He even kind of looked like him a little bit.
yeah. I think he was mainly just there to kind of be an annoyance of,
Yes.
just be an annoyance of, and kind of self reflection of this generation. I guess I don't know.
Yes.
Just a guess by the way he was doing some things. But yeah, no, I thought he did a good job too when he was given. Some of the stuff didn't always land, and I think it's because they didn't go deep enough into it, or it kind of just fizzled out really quick. So I wish they would have had those better set up or better landed some of those, but I get what they were doing with the character, and I thought it was funny when they landed, but like you're proposing in the middle of a wake? Yeah. And he saw no problem with it until she said it out loud. Like that kind of stuff is funny, but
it was funny, but I mean, also it was
it didn't quite
mostly his
land,
comeback, his comeback to it
Yeah.
of I guess you'll just kill my love for you as well at this wake.
Yeah. Like some of the stuff worked, some of it didn't with that character, but I got what they were going for.
Hmm.
I just wish they would have would have been able to hone in on what they wanted to do with that character and make those better. But
Mm.
overall, I thought they were good. The wife of Beetlejuice was kind of just a background thing,
Yeah.
I was a
but it
little
was
bit
a
that was one of the things I was mostly disappointed with. I was expecting more, especially at the ending, with
yeah,
her.
yeah, no, and it was made to be like a big part of it, but
It just kind of fell
it
short.
was just kind of there and made a whole bunch of the stuff just disjointed.
Yeah,
So, but
yeah. I'll just say, what we're all thinking, just rip Bob.
yeah, in loving memory of Bob.
Yeah, Bob. Bob was a real one. Pretended to be Beetlejuice and everything and
Uh,
died for nothing.
There was Phil, Al, John, all the other ones, but only Bob made this movie worth watching.
Only Bob, man of few words.
Yep.
Yeah. I really liked most of the characters. The comic foil of Winona's boyfriend was pretty funny. I really liked Willem Dafoe's character. That was a that was a good addition.
I'll be perfectly honest. When I was looking at the cast and I saw Willem Dafoe and
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito, I was really excited. A little disappointed Danny DeVito was only there for like maybe 5 minutes,
Yeah.
but I'm so glad Willem Dafoe was there for much
Willem
longer.
Dafoe's character was fantastic. It wasn't in
He,
it too much. It was in it just enough to really appreciate the guy
yes.
he was. Jenna Ortega did a really good job.
Hmm.
Catherine O'Hare, everything Payson said, spot on. Um, Michael Keaton just knocks it out of the park. He did not lose any of it, even in his old age, even the enthusiasm specifically.
He had a
Um,
lot more to do in this one, I think, in the original one too.
yeah, he showed up later, but
Yeah.
was more integral to the overall story,
Yes.
which was good. Um, Other than that, I like the music. I really liked the cinematography. They didn't go too far, with which is what a lot of movies do now. They
Yeah.
try to make it look, um, I guess updated, but they didn't try to like take like the sandworm and make it look completely different and so
No.
dated. I
Yeah.
like that they kept that old feeling even with it looking not great.
Yeah, it didn't look. There were some scenes that really didn't look good, but
But I'm
Yeah,
glad they kept it like that instead of changing it drastically.
and
yeah,
then getting some Marvel CGI in there, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather
Yeah.
that have be crappy because they're trying to replicate old animation than be crappy because they overwork
Tried
their
to improve it.
too tight of a deadline.
Hmm. Yeah.
thought
No, I
the
agree.
ironically thought the dad being thrown in there. I thought that probably could have been better done if like we didn't have like that one plot and then the other plot because I get they were trying to go for like the family core
I
thing, but
I will admit I made the bad decision of that scene being my bathroom break during the movie.
oh seriously?
I did. I came back and I was like, "What happened?" And my girlfriend was like, "Oh yeah, he just explained why he hadn't reached out to them or everything." And I was like, "Oh,
Very
Yeah,
important.
yeah, no, but I think that scene was good with the whole father sort of being that really was well explained and done well. It's just that whole Beetlejuice wife, or I guess ex-wife kind of thing going on there kind of made that all disjointed and
Yeah, because I forget why was he looking for a wife again?
uh was it to be
oh."
grounded
The
into the
reason
real
he was
world?
looking for a real wife was so that he can go back to the land of the living.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what I
that's right.
thought.
That's right. Okay.
So
It would have been better if they could somehow tie it in with his ex-wife. If he marries another woman, it'll void the reason why she's hunting him or something like that.
Oh, well, I
yeah,
mean, the whole plot with the ex-wife was literally just, oh, this is my
Oh
ex-wife
yeah.
was
Yeah.
alive, but she was evil.
Honestly,
Now she
they did
wants my
not
soul.
need her in the movie at all.
she wasn't needed.
No, yeah,
She
that
was
side plot
cool,
was unnecessary.
but
It was fun, just
yeah,
unnecessary.
yeah, yeah.
It just added some spice into or some conflict into the last wedding scene.
Yeah, but I think that just made the whole
Some
movie disjointed
conflict.
with the little random
Maybe if
bits of
she,
her.
yeah, maybe if she did more in the last wedding scene instead of
Yeah,
just kind of appear. Yeah, it was a waste of her character, really. Either have her and use her for moving some sort of plot
yeah.
forward or don't have her at all.
Her character felt non-existent. You had more fun with Danny DeVito's character showing up for 2 seconds. Hey, Wyatt, he's making a list, checking it twice, gonna find out who's
Council of
naughty.
Council of Nerds, is that what you call us?
But overall, as for good things, that's about what I have. For bad things, I think my biggest grievance was Winona Ryder's character. She was so headstrong and defiant and rebellious and independent in the first movie. And then in the second movie, she's a wuss. In this movie, she's a wuss.
Like
She's riddled
to
with
an
it.
extent, to an extent, I suppose I can understand if you went through the trauma of almost being forcibly married to a demon. Like to an extent, I get it, and you can still see ghosts. Sure, it's traumatizing, but I don't think a character who is that headstrong would change that drastically.
I mean, she seemed pretty okay by the end of the first film where she was dancing with
Hey,
the
look,
ghosts.
yes, no, I agree.
This
So
is
I'm
my
like,
problem with the Sarah J. Maas A Court of Thorns and Roses theories. Same thing happens in book two. Character does a 180. I don't like it. Even with trauma, they still maintain their character traits, even if they're repressed or they
yeah,
have moments of weakness. It is very rare when someone does an entire 180 in personality and they don't have some kind of form of like shell shock.
Yeah.
Um, if the trauma is so great that their personality does a 180, there is way more
now
back that
they
comes
could have
along with
said
that.
it. They could have said it like
It could have
if
been done
the
with the,
reason why her personality changes after her husband died, but
yeah.
they didn't do that.
And it would have been better to have shown that if they were going to do that, but if
Or even just
they
like a
might have done it, but
less drastic change.
yeah,
Like, oh, she grew up. Like she stopped internalizing the trauma. Her husband died and she had to go through that. Like be more like half and half instead of just being like completely on the other side of just being a wuss and
yeah,
an absent parent. Like you would
Yeah,
because her whole issue in the first movie was I love my mom so much and she's gone and now I'm depressed. You would think she'd be a much more present mother. Or even if she turned into her mother, she'd be a less attentive mother than she is in this movie. It was very wishy-washy and not at all the same character, even though like she changed and got back to her old self. Like she was doing these weird anxiety relieving breathing exercises. She would not have done that. She would have been like, this is bullcrap. I see ghosts. This is bullcrap.
it's not fair. Life's not fair.
She would not have
Yeah,
done
no, I agree. I agree.
yeah. I agree. If they're going to do that kind of change, they need to show the reasoning for that change, or at least tell us a good enough reason why that change occurred. Because they already told us that their marriage was non-existent at the back when forget the girl's name, the Astrid, right? Astrid,
that.
Yes, I believe so.
when she was like a toddler or something. And then when her dad died, basically their marriage wasn't already occurring, but yet they kind of want to make that seem like that's when she cracked a little bit and kind of changed her personality. I don't, it's not well explained.
Nope.
I just don't think the acting is well done for that character either, but I don't know. That could also have been the direction that she was given for that character as well. So,
I feel like it was probably the direction she was given for the character. I enjoyed all the little Easter eggs throughout this movie. I thought that was fun. I think one of my favorites was definitely at the funeral, um, singing, what is the song?
Deo, the
Deo,
boat song.
Yeah, yeah,
Deo,
probably my favorite little Easter egg from this movie.
that was just so random. But now that you bring that up, I'm gonna have to look into why that's an Easter egg because I don't remember.
They sang it in the when
It's
they
like the
were
Beetlejuice theme song.
resurrecting. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I forget. I forget what scene specifically. Um,
It was the end credits. It was the end scene song in the
oh,
original.
was it the end scene? I thought it
Oh,
was
okay.
they did it a second time or a
Uh,
time before that.
okay,
They
that's
I might be
funny.
probably
thinking,
did, but
yeah,
originally like the big scene that
yeah,
intro. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Dancing
funny.
with the Ghosts.
Okay.
It's yeah, it's
End credit scene. That's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, I really like that. Probably my favorite Easter egg in this movie. The daughter was an interesting character. It kind of felt like a copy and paste of the original for her,
mhm.
but
A little
you
bit
know,
more emo and spiteful.
yeah, yeah, but
I think the original was what like that generation thought of as emo and like goth, and
Well,
this one
yeah,
is what this generation thinks of
modern
emo,
modern rendition of it. Yeah,
which is just a little bit more depressed.
just a little bit.
Like, yeah,
It was still a pretty good sequel for this cult classic.
All right.
Definitely would probably still. I mean, I don't know if both of these movies were watched back to back. I don't know if I would stay to watch the second one, unless I just kind of feel like it and just hanging out with people. It's
that's
not something I would just sit and watch.
a good way to put it.
I might if I was just didn't want to get out of my seat, but
I mean, yeah, but it's not something I would be as intrigued or invested in.
I think if I'm putting on like an all day or like an all night Halloween party, and I was trying to like not choose horror movies, this one would absolutely be on the list.
Yeah, both of the Beetlejuice would definitely be on the list.
all right, Zach, it is your turn. Or unless we got anything else.
Oh,
Cool.
All right.
Any movie selections you guys want to watch?
yes, but none that I want to review on this channel.
Dope. Okay, Payson.
Oh, for your sake and for mine, I really want to watch Terrifier 3 because I've seen the first two. I'm not gonna ask you guys to watch that. I've heard it's brutal.
Okay.
To the point of people like walking out and throwing up. And we
Oh,
live
good.
in time. I love Florence
Perfect.
Pugh and I like Andrew Garfield, and I know that movie's gonna wreck me, and I am not willing to.
Which movie?
We Live in Time. It's a new movie with Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield. I
I
am
think
not
I've heard
willing
of
to
it.
defend that movie. I
Oh,
don't want
was it bad?
I don't know. I don't know,
Okay.
but I know I'm gonna love it purely because it's a serious film with Florence Pugh. Don't want to do it. I just want to sit back and love it and
Fair,
not
fair.
think critically
I
about it.
respect it. I respect it. Okay.
Now that I said that, Payson's absolutely gonna choose it just to spite me.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I got other choices in mind.
I don't think you'd be interested in it. It's a very like straight, like serious
I
heart.
don't think I would either. Want to watch I've watched Transformers 1. Though I know Zach doesn't care to, but it was actually good. It was
I
good.
heard it was
Oh,
fantastic.
It
really?
was good.
I
Yes.
heard it was fantastic.
Okay.
I would like to also watch Joker 2. I've heard a couple of different things about that one, but still want to
Awful.
watch it. But that's not something that needs to be picked if you guys don't want to watch that. But that's something on my radar. I know
Anyway,
there's other
Zach,
ones, but
Zach, go. We have less than a minute.
yeah.
All right, cool. We're gonna be watching Joker 2.
Seriously?
Don't look don't look so disappointed. Well, you gave me nothing else. I can't
I've
look up
already
anything at
seen
the
it.
moment.
I have a reason.
Transformers 1 was on the list and you chose
Oh
Joker
well,
2?
sure. We'll watch Transformers 1. I don't really